Camp, Ethier, Martin, Loney. All the kids are all grown up now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we talked about at the outset of this season was how you can't call them young anymore. They are young in terms of age, all mid-20s, but they have a lot of Major League experience now. Time for them to break out. Ethier broke out. Kemp certainly has broken out. Russell Martin struggled, but he's up to 260 and headed in the right direction now. It's all about the way you finish. Loney has 85 RBIs, and throw some of the pitchers in there. Billingsley scuffled a little bit, but he started the season as the ace of his staff. He can get that back. And Jonathan Broxton, his last 10 appearances, he had 10 saves with a big old goose egg as an ERA. He's devastating right now.
24 home runs for Kemp. That's a career high. 30 home runs for Andre Ethier. Who's your MVP? You talk about it at home.
You asking again?
Tonight is an anniversary, isn't it? Did you bring anything?
Yes, it is.
It's an anniversary. Where were you 3 years ago tonight? It is our Kevin Woodstein legendary performance. You remember against the Padres, bottom of the ninth, down 4. First it was Kent, then it was Drew, then it was Russell Martin.
And after that one, we looked at each other and said, no way can it happen 4 times.
Russell Sr. was here, and then Marlon Anderson uncoils and goes deep into the pavilion, which was still packed. So we went extra innings, and then no more. Give me the fist pump. He wins it in the 10th. Dodgers hit 4 home runs in a row, and the 5th one by Nomar ends it. Dodgers looking for their first back-to-back division title since 1978. Is the Giants and the Dodgers next.
$6 burger with grilled pineapple back at Carl's Jr. And by Verizon, America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday night. And to you, little bouncing baby, we're delighted to have you here as well. Friday night, the Giants, the Dodgers, fireworks, a beautiful summer's evening, and what would appear to be a sellout crowd slowly coming into Dodger Stadium. The Giants and the Dodgers meeting for the 16th time this year. Dodgers have won 9 of the previous 15, taking 4 out of 6 here and scrambling to win 5 of the 9 up north at AT&T Park. Let's take a look at the visiting Giants. In left field, Eugenio Velez, the second baseman, Freddie Sanchez. Randy Wynn is in right field. Pablo Sandoval will hit cleanup at third base. Benji Molina behind the plate. Juan Uribe red hot. He'll be the shortstop over a slumping Edgar Renteria. Travis Ishikawa at first base. Aaron Rowand in center field batting 8th. Jonathan Sanchez will be on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Vicente Padilla. The 31-year-old right-hander has certainly been a blessing. He got the win Saturday at San Francisco, allowing only one unearned run. And by the way, he is only 3 wins shy of 100. In his career, he is 4-3 against San Francisco. So Padilla ready to go to work against the Giants. Over the years, since moving here in 1958, long before Joe Torre became manager, in fact, it was before Joe really made a big noise in the major leagues, Giants and Dodgers moved out here. And over those years, the Dodgers have been far more successful than San Francisco. But all of that is history. For the Giants right now, not trying to catch the Dodgers, they're trying to catch Colorado. Eugenio Velez takes a strike, and the count 0-1. Well, Velez hitting .269. He has 4 home runs, 25 runs batted in. 0-1 the count of the switch hitter, hitting left-handed, sprays one foul off to the left of the plate. And an 0-2 count to Eugenio Velez. The temperature right now, 76 degrees. So Velez with 4 home runs, 25 RBIs. A little bit on the hazy side, or maybe it's just the lights. The strike 2 pitch on the way is taken low. It wasn't too long ago when the lights would come on for a 7:05, 7:10 start, and the sky would be a brilliant blue. But the fall has certainly arrived, and never is it more evident than playing a night game tonight, and the lights are needed immediately. 1-2 to Velez. Padilla ready, and Vicente comes over the top at the kneecaps, and that balances things. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Talking about the Giants and Colorado, and the Giants admit they'll be looking at the scoreboard. Bruce Bochy's club beat Colorado 10 of 18. But the big difference, the Rockies are so successful at home. 2-2 pitch on the way, and that's outside, ball 3. 3-2 the count. So Padilla being very careful and has run the string all the way. The Giants have had a very good homestand, but the Rockies are out in front of them, and that's more important. And they'll be heading home despite Tim Lincecum and Matt Cain. 3-2 the pitch to Eugenio Velez, fouled away. Another interesting note why the Giants are where they are, 8.5 back of the Dodgers. 2 of their aces certainly, or considered aces, would be Tim Lincecum and Matt Cain. But Matt Cain has not been able to hold up. He is 0-7 in his career against the Dodgers. And tonight, with the left-hander Jonathan Sanchez going out to the mound, Sanchez is 0-4 against the Dodgers. So 2 of the mainstays of the staff are 0-11 against the team they're trying to catch, and it doesn't work that way. Now the 3-2 pitch on the way to Velez, swung on, ground foul outside of first, down the line. Roberto Kelly over to pick it up. Over at third, Tim Flannery. We mentioned the Rockies a moment ago because they're on them 11 of 15 since last year in Arizona. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Velez, swung on, and a drive into right field and deep. That one's got a lot back of it, and it is gone. So Eugenio Velez leads off with a home run, and just like that, the Giants take a 1-0 lead. For Velez, his 5th home run of the year, all 5 hit left-handed. On the heels of the home run by Velez, we can tell you that over in Arizona, with Jason Marquis and Kevin Mulvey, Rockies are leading the D-backs 2-1, top of the 2nd inning. So Velez with a home run, and now Freddie Sanchez, he takes a strike, and the count 0-1. So Velez certainly points the Giants in the right direction. Freddie Sanchez hitting .292, takes way off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike, the count. Freddie, born in Hollywood, lives in Burbank, and And the next pitch, ground ball to the right of Hudson. He backhands effort, and it spills off the glove and goes into shallow center field. So Freddie Sanchez safely aboard, and we'll see about the scoring. During the course of the year, Hudson makes that play about 95% of the time, but not that time, and it will be an error charged to Orlando Hudson. So a home run followed by Hudson's error, and the batter now is Randy Wynn, hitting .292, 7 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Randy is a switch hitter, and he is dynamite as a left-handed batter. He's hitting .297 left-handed, and he takes low and inside ball 1. When he goes across the plate and hits right-handed, it's 140 pounds less, 157. He has only 2 home runs, both of them hit left-handed. There are a lot of big differences between the Giants and the Dodgers. Certainly power in the outfield would be one of them. Because you look at Randy Wynn, he has 2. Then you would look certainly at Aaron Rowan, and he has 14. That's a total of 16. And then Velez now has 5. So a total of 21 home runs. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Randy has a look, and it's a little low, ball 2. Then you look at the Dodger lineup, and you look at their outfielders, and you realize that it is an explosive ball club, starting with Manny Ramirez with 18, Matt Kemp with 24, that's 42, and Ethier with 30, 72 home runs in the Dodger outfield alone. So a huge difference between the Giants and the Dodgers. 2 balls and no strikes they count to Randy Wynn. Velez homers. Sanchez reaches on the error charge to Hudson. And here is Wynn with the count his way. 2 balls and no strikes. Padilla set at the belt. Vicente a long look at first. Now to the plate, and that's low. Ball 3. 3-0. So Vicente Padilla, who has pitched well 2 times against the Giants after his appearances against Arizona, and his last time out he allowed just 1 run. It was unearned in 6 innings. 3-0 pitch on the way is taken inside, ball 4. So home run, error, walk, and the Giants are in business. We'll take a look at the Dodgers with the leather. It's Ramirez, Kemp, and Ethier in the outfield. No dramatic changes. Infield is Blake, Furcal, Hudson, and Loney. And the battery, Vicente Padilla and Russell Martin. And the hitter now is Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval, during the recent homestand, hit .294, did not hit a home run, and had just 1 run batted in. In fact, he's been struggling lately. Power, left-hand batter, and the first pitch to Pablo is outside, ball 1. Another switch hitter who can hurt you from either side of the plate. He's hitting .310 left, .357 right, and 16 of his 21 home runs he hit left-handed. 2 on, nobody out, 1-0 Giants. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way to Pablo. Padilla at the belt comes with a fastball fouled away. Fastball down outside part of the plate at 95 miles an hour. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Pablo Sandoval. Somewhat of a shaky start, so Rick Honeycutt, Joe Torre watching Padilla. But Padilla, as a veteran, has certainly been through the mill. A man from Nicaragua, Chinandega, set at the belt, checks his runners, and the 1-1 pitch coming up. Padilla delivers very high and outside, ball 2, 2-1. In his last game against the Giants, he walked 3 and struck out 5. In his time with the Dodgers, most walks in a game, 3. So 2-1 the count to Pablo Sandoval. Runners take their lead. Sanchez and Wynn. Padilla very deliberate with men on base. 2-1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. Sandoval, a very good hitter. He is a bad ball hitter, not a bad ball swinger. You can't hit .322 if you're a bad ball swinger. And he has struck out 78 times, which is excellent. He's had about 550 plate appearances at least. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Padilla, watching out of the corner of his right eye, now comes to the plate, swung on, popped in the air, foul off third, doubtful. In fact, it's back in amongst the crowd. Still 2-2 the count. Pablo Sandoval. We mentioned it before. If you are watching on television and you look under his left eye, you might see a little scar. It was put there when he was a little boy. A pet Doberman got him. But he will scar a lot of pitchers in the baseball language before he's finished. 2-2 the count. Out of a stretch goes Padilla. Vicente ready. Pablo drives it to left field. Going back on the ball is Manny. Reaches up to backhand it. And the Giants are stopped at first and second. Sanchez didn't tag up. Wynn went all the way down to second base. And for a split second, there were 2 Giants at the bag. So for Sandoval, just a long fly ball to left field and 1 away. Another power plant right-hand hitter, Benji Molina, coming up. Molina with 18 home runs, 74 runs batted in, hitting .265. And of course, Molina, a veteran catcher. If he hits the ball on the ground, chances are he'll hit into a double play. But he's only grounded into 11. So the Dodgers trying to get out of it against Benji. 1-0 Giants, first inning. Padilla out of a stretch. Ready and deals change curveball, but it's off the plate. Big, slow 67 mile an hour curve. Benji Molina, Gold Glove catcher, solid hitter. Again, a look by Padilla back at second base at Sanchez. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled back. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Benji Molina during the homestand was quite a contributor. Hit .387. He had a home run and 5 RBIs. One reason why, they had moved him from cleanup to the number 5 slot, figuring somebody would get on for him. Last 31 games, just about a little over a month, he's hit .297. So Molina waiting, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Padilla again, a careful look at Sanchez. Back with a fastball, grounded to third, picked by Blake for 1. Hudson plenty of time, doubles up Molina. That's what the Dodgers were looking for. That's what they got. 5-4-3 double play. 1 run, 1 hit, a home run, an error, and at the end of half an inning, 1-0 Giants. on the double play. If you're watching on television, take a look at Orlando Hudson talking about the luxury of time. He will back off almost into right field and then throws the ball and still beats Molina by so much. And Randy Wynn never had a chance, even come close to breaking up the double play. So it's 1-0 Giants. Here the way the Dodgers stack up. Furcal, Martin and Ethier, Ramirez, Kemp and Blake, Loney, Hudson and Padilla. Dodgers have done well against left-hand pitching. They are 25-15, and at home against left-handers, 12-8. So they're facing Jonathan Sanchez, who has never beaten them. He is 0-4 in his career and 0-3 this year. Rafael Furcal turns around, hits right-handed, and takes ball 1. 1-0. Sanchez had a no-hitter back on the 10th of July. Pitch to Furcal is high, and no pitcher in baseball has been tougher to hit. Since that July 10th, the opposition is hitting 172 against Jonathan Sanchez. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way, and that's ball 3. But it's the old story. How'd you come out? He is 6-12, 0-3 against the Dodgers, 0-4 in his career. So Jonathan trying to turn things around, and the 3-0 pitch is a breaking ball for ball 4. Well, it didn't take long, 4 pitches, for him to have to get out of the stretch.
Dodgers catcher number 55, Russell Martin.
So Russell Martin coming up as Jonathan Sanchez leads 1-0 and walks the leadoff man. Martin checking in the plate, .259 batting average, 6 home runs, 48 runs batted in. Furcal off the bag at first, held on by Ishikawa, and the pitch is high, ball 1. 1-0. When Sanchez pitched his no-hitter, it was an 8-0 victory over San Diego. Would have been a perfect game, except Juan Uribe made an error on a hard ground ball. Chase Headley was the only man to get on base that entire night. Here's the 1-0 pitch coming up. Instead, it's a throw to first. 1 ball and no strikes. Sanchez peering in to get a sign. Furcal, a very cautious lead. The left-hander to Martin, who shows bunt, takes a strike. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. The Dodgers and the Giants meeting yet again. Joe Torre's club trying to win the division, and the Giants trying somehow to survive and be the wild card. 1 ball and 1 strike to count. Sanchez again set at the belt. Jonathan works it inside. Ball 2, 2-1. While the Dodgers are playing the Giants for 3, Colorado will be at Arizona. Then the Dodgers go to Washington. Colorado hosts San Diego, and the Giants go to Arizona. 2-1 pitch swung on, grounded foul outside of third down the line, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we're just starting game 1 of the 3-game series. Game 2 tomorrow afternoon, Brad Penny and John Garland. And then Sunday, Randy Wolf will go up against the Giants' best, former Cy Young Award winner Tim Lincecum. So Lincecum leaning forward, hair spilling down around the shoulders. John Garland sits in the Dodger dugout with Jim Tomei waiting his turn. 2-2 pitch on the way is swung on, ground ball to third, down to second, they get 1, and Sanchez will turn it for 2. So turnabout is fair play. Molina grounds into a double play. Martin grounds into a double play, and it's still 1-0 in favor of the Giants here in the first inning. For Martin, that would be the 17th double play in which he has grounded out. Andre Ethier has grounded into 19. So 2 down. And here is Ethier having a truly remarkable year. The only thing about Andre to slow him down at all, he has struggled against left-handers. Oh, yeah, he won the game the other night against Dumatray, a left-hander with a home run. Ethier for the year hitting 193 against left-hand pitching. He takes a strike outside corner. 0-2 the count. Ethier going up against Sanchez has 3 hits in 19 at-bats. That's just a 158 batting average, but he did hit a home run against him. Strike 2 pitch, poked foul off third upstairs, and the count remains no balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 in favor of San Francisco. It's 2-1 in favor of Colorado. Second inning over in Arizona. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Ethier waiting, Sanchez making him wait. Now Jonathan strike 2 pitches behind him and hit him right above the numbers. It was a curveball. Crowd boos, but there was the last thing that Jonathan Sanchez wanted to do, and that's to hit Andre Ethier. No balls, 2 strikes with Manny Ramirez coming up. It was just a bad curveball that didn't break. So Sanchez makes a very expensive 0-2 pitch to hit Ethier, and now that'll bring up Manny Ramirez. Manny Ramirez is 4 for 8. He's hitting .500 against Jonathan Sanchez. Though you know it was the last thing Sanchez had on his mind. Left-hander out of his stretch, looks at Ethier, and the pitch to Manny is taken low. Ball 1, 1-0. Ramirez hitting .302. He has 18 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Giants 1, Dodgers nothing. Rockies are leading the D-backs 4-1, top of the 3rd inning. Rockies are 5 back of the Dodgers. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball lined into left center, base hit, and it's going to go to the wall. So Ethier is at third. They are waving him around to the plate. Uribe's throw, not in time, and the Dodgers have tied it up because an 0-2 curveball hit Andre Ethier. So Jonathan Sanchez hits a guy batting 193 and then has to face a guy hitting .500 against him, and he gives up the run. So it's a 1-1 tie in the 1st inning. In the Rockies game, Yorvit Torrealba had a 2-run single. A fly ball scored Chris Young, and Troy Tulowitzki had a 2-run home run. So the Rockies are out in front 4-1. Andre Ethier is in the dugout in a 1-1 tie. And the batter now is Matt Kemp. Sanchez out of his stretch, looks back at Manny, now works the right-hand hitter, and it's low, ball 1. Matt Kemp hitting .400. So if you're Sanchez, you got Ramirez who hits .500 against you, followed by Kemp who hits .400 against you. And he had Ethier 0-2 who was hitting .158 against him. That's how painful that 0-2 curveball was. The 1-0 fastball is low and inside, ball 2. Jonathan Sanchez, 26 years old. He'll be 27 the middle of November. He's from Mayaguez in Puerto Rico. They waited until the 27th round, did the Giants, before they selected him back in 2004. Left-hander set, looks back at Ramirez. Now the 2-0 pitch, and Ramirez stopped off second base on a line drive right back to Sanchez. So Matt Kemp hits a bullet back to the mound. Ramirez just flat-footed, watching the action at second after driving in a run, and we have a 1-1 tie. Juan Uribe, Travis Ishikawa, and then Aaron Rowan. And the right-hander Vicente Padilla works off the plate. Ball one. Uribe has been doing very solid work for the Giants, hitting .290, 13 home runs, 46 runs batted in. He takes a strike, and the count 1-1. Uribe, during the recent homestand for the Giants, hit .424, including 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. And he's been red hot. 1-1 pitch on the way. Uribe takes off the plate. Ball 2-1. Edgar Renteria hitting only .250 with 5 home runs. So Uribe takes over at the job at shortstop. 2-1 pitch by Padilla. High bouncer to Hudson. Nice big hop. Throws to first in time for the out. So we have 1 out here in the second inning. The Giants trying to catch Colorado, and one of the problems that the Giants will have, the fact that the Rockies do so much better at home. They're 45-27 at home. Remember their most recent homestand, they went 9-1. And one difference for Colorado, they hit so much better at home. How about 50 points better? Off speed, and it's outside. Ball one. 1-0 the count to the left-hand hitting Ishikawa. So the Rockies are going to be tough to catch as far as the Giants are concerned. The 1-0 pitch in for a strike. 1-1. Talking about a disparity between home and road individually, let's take Ishikawa. Up at AT&T Park, he hit .356. Ground foul outside of first. What is he hitting on the road? 200 points lighter. 356 at home, 156 on the road. So Ishikawa certainly not an ad for home cooking. And the left-hander waiting at the plate. Aaron Rowan hitting back of him. Now the 1-2 pitch by Vicente, way inside, all the way to the backstop. Padilla is not as sharp in the early going anyway. We have seen him where he would take over the count early and hold on to it. Tonight he's been behind a lot, but it's a 1-1 tie. 2-2 pitch on the way is swung on and fouled off. Though Ishikawa up there hacking away. Travis is from Seattle, Washington. He's a big fella, 6'3", 220. Giants picked him in the 21st round back in 2002. 2-2 pitch. Ishikawa fouls that away. Hitting .264, 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Giants keep hoping they're going to have a home run hitter. Ishikawa at San Jose hit 22 a couple of years ago. He hit 16 at Fresno last year. So they're waiting. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Padilla ready. Here he comes, and it's slapped foul into and rattling around the Dodger dugout. All the fellas with the protective fencing in front of the dugout still had a duck for cover. That could have shaken up a covey of pitchers. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch to Ishikawa, fouled away again. In looking at Vicente Padilla's numbers, .22 innings, 17 strikeouts. Over in the American League, over 108 innings and only 50 some odd strikeouts. 2-2 pitch, swung on, soft line drive right at Orlando Hudson, and just like that, 2 down. So Ishikawa lines out, and Aaron Rowan coming up. Giants expected a lot from Aaron Rowan, but they based it on his play in Philadelphia. And the Philadelphia ballpark, certainly a hitter's park, so that in 07 he had 27 home runs, 89 runs batted in. That fell off last year. 13 home runs, 70 runs batted in. He takes a low ball 1, and that has fallen off. 14 home runs, 61 runs batted in. So Rowan has been a disappointment. Padilla ready and delivers. Hard ground ball, base hit into left field. So a 2-out single from the number 8 hitter. And of course, that's another thing that's a surprise to realize Rowan now bats 8th. And it'll bring up Jonathan Sanchez. 1-1 tie. We're in the second inning with 2 out. Jonathan hitting about a half a buck. He has 2 hits, and he has struck out half the time. Left-hand pitcher, left-hand batter. Padilla set, looks over at Rowan, who doesn't figure to go anywhere, and the pitch in for a strike. Rowan doesn't do a lot of running anyway. He has stolen 4 out of 5, but there wouldn't be much sense to run him with 2 out and the pitcher at the plate. Strike 1 pitch on the way, and Sanchez swings, doesn't get it. 0-2 the count to Jonathan. Vicente Padilla and Jonathan Sanchez all locked in 1-1, top of the second inning. Padilla set again. Strike 2 pitch on the way. That's taken high. Ball 1. 1-2 to Jonathan Sanchez. Game 1 of a 3-game series. Dodgers after Sunday will go out on the road, play Washington for 3 and a 4-game series in Pittsburgh, and then 2 games in San Diego. The next one is fouled off, though Sanchez is still there. So we are running out of September. We're almost into October, and we certainly hope you make your plans to be with us tomorrow afternoon, Sunday afternoon, and then the last 3 regular season games on October 2, 3, and 4 with Colorado. 1-2 to Jonathan Sanchez. He slaps one foul off that protective railing, waiting on a curveball, and just did get a bit of it. 1-2. If you joined us a little late, Eugenio Velez opened up the game and hit a home run. But the Dodgers came back with a run in the bottom of the first inning. Padilla delivers, golfed at and missed, and that'll do it. No runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of an inning and a half, Giants won, Dodgers won. Daily only at your neighborhood Shakey's. Bottom of the second inning in a 1-1 tie. Dodgers will have Casey Blake, followed by James Loney, and then Orlando Hudson against left-hander Jonathan Sanchez, who already made one huge mistake and paid the price. An 0-2 pitch to Andre Ethier. Big slow curve hit Ethier on the back, and Ramirez then came up and doubled him in. Breaking ball to Casey Blake in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Blake hitting .250 against Sanchez, hitting .281 against the league. 17 home runs, 74 runs batted in, and he backs off on a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Casey 3 for 6 in the Pittsburgh series. He's hit safely in 5 straight. Sanchez turns, comes back 1-1, breaking ball up, ball 2, 2-1. Casey, remember, missed 5 games with a tight hamstring, and he has come back to hit safely in 5. He's also walked 5 times in his last 5 games. So he has the count his way, 2-1, and the fastball is low, ball 3, 3-1. Jonathan Sanchez comes in with a record of 6-12. Opposition is hitting only .217 against him. 3-1 pitch on the way, and that's outside, ball 4. So a leadoff walk, and that'll bring up James Loney. You know, you can join the Dodgers Sunday facing the Giants, and they're going to give away the last Webkins pet of the season. The first 15,000 kids, 14 and under, walk home with a Lilkins tree frog, presented by Kaiser Permanente. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. So Furcal opened up the game with a walk in the first inning. Now Blake opens up the second inning with a walk. And here is Loney batting .281. 12 home runs, all on the road. 85 runs batted in. Takes a high strike, and the count 0-1. Loney hitting .308 against Sanchez with a home run. 1 run, 2 hits for the Giants. 1 run, 1 hit for the Dodgers. Ramirez doubled in Ethier. Velez homered for the Giants. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. Sanchez works it down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jonathan Sanchez, the reason he was late in his pick by the Giants, 27th round, they thought he pushed the ball, but they thought it would take a while to get him out of that habit, and he'd become a winner. Well, it is not that easy, and he is struggling. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and that's taken for a strike. Sanchez last year was 9-12, and this year he is 6-12, and of course he's running out of starts. Jonathan won his first road game in August at Houston. Now the 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed, pitch in on the hands, good fastball, and down goes Loney. So 1 away. That would be the first strikeout for Jonathan Sanchez, and the batter now will be Orlando Hudson. And looking at Sanchez's work, he is not a big strikeout man, but he did have 1 game against San Diego. Remember his no-hitter, where he struck out 11. He's had 8 and 9 several times. And now Hudson checks in, batting right-handed. Orlando from this side of the plate hitting .309. Sanchez delivers, fastball strike, 0-1 the count. That .309 is watered down a bit with a .281 batting average, hitting left-handed. So Orlando Hudson trying to keep it going. 1 out, Blake at first, Vicente Padilla on deck. Hudson a roller up the middle, going to the bag with it as Uribe fires to first, and the Giants come up with their second double play. So no runs, no hits, nobody left, and at the end of 2 we have a 1-1 tie. Third inning, we have a 1-1 tie. Eugenio Velez, followed by Freddie Sanchez, and then Randy Wynn in that order. Velez, if you joined us a wee bit late, before you could warm the chair, the count was no balls and 2 strikes. Then he fought off 5 more pitches, and on his 8th pitch, hit a home run. Now, that was quite an at-bat for Eugenio Velez, hitting .273. Padilla into the windup delivers, and the pitch is low and away, ball 1. For Padilla, by the way, that home run was only the second that he's allowed as a Dodger pitcher. 1 ball and no strikes. Padilla turns, ready, and comes back 1-0, and that finds the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers rather comfortably ensconced, 5 games in front of Colorado. Giants 8.5 back, 3.5 behind the Rockies. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and Velez takes low and inside, ball 2, 2-1. The Rockies are doing well over in Arizona. They're winning 4-1 in the 4th inning behind Jason Marquis. Remember, we told you Arizona has beaten the Rockies 11 out of 15 starting last year at home. 2-1 pitch to Velez, swung on, base hit to left field. So Eugenio Velez, home run, now a single, and the batter will be Freddie Sanchez. So Freddie Sanchez, as we mentioned, born in Hollywood, lives in Burbank, but went to school at Oklahoma City University. Won the batting crown back in 2006 when he hit .344. Freddie has one odd thing about him. He's 5'10", 190, but his right foot is a half size smaller than his left. And the pitch to Freddie, slow breaking ball in for a strike. 0-1 to count. I'm not sure which is stranger, Sanchez with the feet or Max Scherzer of Arizona with one eye blue, one eye brown. Strike 1 pitch coming up. Velez takes his lead, poised over there. Padilla ready. There goes Velez. It's missed at the plate. The throw is short, hopped, and late. So Eugenio Velez steals his 8th base. He's 8 of 11. And he was really leaning on his right leg. You had the feeling he was definitely going to go, and sure enough, he did. So Velez at second with nobody out. 0-2 the count to Freddie Sanchez, trying to pick him up. Freddie has 41 runs batted in. Padilla looks in to get a sign. On deck, Randy Wynn. Freddie pumping the wood back and forth. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way. Padilla deals, and it's fouled away. You know, we were talking before about Freddie, one foot being a little bit smaller than the other. In true fact, he was born with a club right foot and a pigeon-toed left foot, and he wore a cast from the time he was 1 day old. Can you imagine? Here's the strike 2 pitch coming up. Padilla at the belt. Another look. Very deliberate. Sanchez promptly bangs it into center. That's in front of Kemp for a base hit. Then it slips out of his hand, but they're going to stop Velez anyway as he makes a strong recovery, even though he scatters it around the plate. Holding at first all the while is Freddie Sanchez. So Sanchez, a line drive, landed in front of Kemp. Then as he turned to make a throw, it squirted out of his glove. That caused a little bit of confusion, but the runners settled for first and third. And it's a good thing a veteran pitcher, Padilla, was backing up when the throw got by Russell Martin. So Padilla in a problem now. First and third, nobody out. Wynn, Sandoval, and Molina coming up in that order. Randy Wynn, born in Los Angeles, went to school up north at Santa Clara. Randy, switch hitter, batting left-handed. Padilla checks the runners at the corners. Now Vicente delivered, and it is a strike, 0-1. I think of all the Dodger pitchers, Vicente Padilla is more deliberate, will hold the ball longer at the belt than any other of the pitchers. They're all deliberate, but he is extremely so. Holding the ball back of his right hip, trying to at least hide it from wind. Set, looking over his left shoulder, still set. Now here he comes, and Wynn swings right through it, and the count 0-2. Randy Wynn hitting .265, 2 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Cousin of Damon Buford and the nephew of Don Buford, so there is certainly baseball genes in his background. 0-2 to Randy, 35 years old. Padilla in a 1-1 tie, but in trouble. And the strike 2 pitch coming up to Randy Wynn. Right-handed delivers, and is a little roll to Loney. He'll go down to his shortstop for call, and that'll be that. So holding at third was Velez, and of course Rafael with that great arm of his. Do you remember the game in San Francisco? There was a hard ground ball to Loney. He threw to Furcal, and Freddie Sanchez tried to score, and Furcal threw him out at the plate. Well, the Giants remember that. So on that ground ball to Loney, when Furcal got it, they were going to be very, very careful. So Sanchez is cut down, but at second base, not at home plate. And the batter now is Pablo Sandoval. Sandoval, switch hitter, batting left-handed, flied to left field in the first inning. First and third, 1 out. Third inning, 1-1 tie. Padilla again so very deliberate. Sandoval drives one into deep right center field, and that one is gone over the right center field wall. 3-run home run for Pablo Sandoval, and the Giants take a 4-1 lead. So for Jonathan Sanchez, 1 minute he was tied, now he's sitting on a 4-1 lead. For Sandoval, his 22nd home run, and it gives him 80 runs batted in. Padilla got the ball up right out over the plate, and there was no doubt about it. So Sandoval hits a big one, and the batter now is Benji Molina. And the first pitch to Benji in there for a strike. So the Giants were burned in San Francisco, but they held on to the bases tonight, and it's paid off. Now the strike 1 pitch, chased and missed. 0-2 the count to Benji Molina. Molina, 35 years old, from Rio Piedras in the Puerto Rican area. And the strike 2 pitch swung on and missed, and down he goes. For Vicente Padilla, that would be only his second strikeout. First 4 starts, 5 total earned runs. Tonight he's given up 4. Coming into the game, he'd been very stingy. He had allowed 1 home run, and he's given up 2. And there's a shot over the head of Orlando Hudson into right field, and it's a base hit for Juan Uribe. So Padilla is struggling. They all do sooner or later. And down in the Dodger dugout, Bob Schaefer, the skipper, Joe Torre, Rick Honeycutt looking a bit troubled as Travis Ishikawa checks in. Ishikawa, a soft line drive to Hudson. Sounds like an oxymoron, but the line drive part of it was just a description. It would not hit hard, just the trajectory. Off speed pitch, ground ball by the diving Hudson. Down to second is Uribe. So the Giants, who started off the game with a home run by Eugenio Velez, had 1 base hit in the second inning, and now They've had 5 hits here in the third to lead 4-1. And the batter will be Aaron Rowan. Rick Honeycutt is on the phone. So in a moment, we'll get a little activity in the Dodger bullpen. Rowan singled to left field in the second inning. Meanwhile, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Remember, we told you that they have beaten Colorado 11 of 15 at home since last year. Well, they were down 4-1, and they have just tied it up. Ryan Roberts had an RBI single. Brandon Allen, the big first baseman, had a 2-run home run. And the Rockies and the D-backs are 4-4, bottom of the fourth. So the Giants might take a little stock in that, trying to cut into the 3.5 game lead that the Rockies have over them. Meanwhile, in the Dodger bullpen, Guillermo Mota answers the call, and he'll begin to warm up. Vicente Padilla is due to lead off in the bottom of the third. So it's 4-1 Giants. Aaron Rowan with 2 on, 2 out, and the pitcher Jonathan Sanchez on deck. Rowan more than straight up. He's a little concave as he takes a strike. Aaron straight-legged and then arches his back, a rather unusual style. Rowan, an even 6-footer, 205 pounds, 32 years old, out of Oregon. Went to school, however, at Cal State Fullerton. Strike one pitch. Aaron swings and doesn't get it. Amongst all major league center fielders, the last we checked, Aaron Rowan, not Carlos Beltran and not Mike Cameron, owns the highest defensive rating among all active major league center fielders. 0-2 to Aaron. It almost looks like he's going to fall backwards. The pitch is fouled away. One thing about Rowan, maybe it's because he doesn't look balanced at the plate. He's been hit a lot. This year, he's been hit 12 times. So he's been hit at least 104 times without going back through the books. He gets nailed a lot. 0-2 to Aaron Rowan. And here's Padilla with a pitch foul back to the screen, and it continues. So in the inning, Velez singled and stole second. Freddie Sanchez singled, sending Velez to third. Wynn hit into a force play, and Velez stayed at third. Sandoval then hit a 3-run home run. And with 2 out, back-to-back singles by Uribe and Ishikawa. So 0-2 the count as Sandoval sits back and rests. And the strike 2 pitch to Aaron Rowan swung on and fouled back yet again. So Padilla is struggling. First of all, he made 45 pitches in the first 2 innings. He's made 67 pitches already with 2 out in the third. So at second base, Juan Uribe. At first, Travis Ishikawa with 2 out. 0-2 to Rowan. Padilla is so very deliberate. Now the pitch to Rowan, high, ball 1. 1-2 the count. When Rowan was with Philadelphia, he had 4 extra base hit games in the same season. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swung on and hammered foul down the line. That's really remarkable. There have been only 13 major leaguers to ever have 2 4 extra base hit games in the same season. Rowan was not only the only one to do it in the same month, he did it 4 days apart. July 14th in St. Louis and July 17th right here at Dodger Stadium. 1-2 the count to Aaron Rowan. The 1-2 pitch, little nubber back to the box. Padilla has it, turns and throws him out. However, the Giants get 3, and at the end of 2.5 innings, because they held their ground and did not run into a double play, it's 4-1 San Francisco. Vicente Padilla, who has made 70 pitches in the first 3 innings, will lead it off. He'll be followed by Rafael Furcal and then Russell Martin. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Giants, 1 run, 1 hit for the Dodgers, a Ramirez double that cashed in Andre Ethier. So Jonathan Sanchez ready to go to work. Padilla waits at the plate. Left hand his first pitch high. Ball 1, 1-0. Padilla, Furcal, and Martin. If anybody gets on Ethier, fastball in for a strike. 1-1 to count. Padilla in his first at bat facing Sanchez. Jonathan never played sports until he was at least 13 years old. Padilla fouls it away. 1-2. He learned quickly that there was something extra special about that left arm, that he could throw a ball past all the kids. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed, and down goes Padilla. So that would be the second strikeout for Jonathan Sanchez. So be sure to join the Dodgers. They'll honor the UCLA Bruins in my town Sunday. Sit in my town, watch the Dodgers and Giants, enjoy an all-you-can-eat menu. Take home a free Dodger Town UCLA T-shirt. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/sit-in-my-town or call 866-DODGERS. Dodgers honored USC. And coming up, UCLA. Rafael Furcal takes the strike, and the count 0-1. 0-1. Sanchez comes right back way off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Furcal walked beginning the game, only to have Russell Martin hit into a double play. Rafael hitting .255. Sanchez comes back 1-1. Fastball flared and slicing and is backhanded. Nice play by Ishikawa. So the first baseman able to get under it. And we have 2 down here in the 3rd inning with Russell Martin coming up. Nice play, especially for a visitor. Like the Music Man, you got to know the territory, and Ishikawa made a fine play. So with 2 down here in the 3rd inning, Russell Martin checks in, batting .259, half a dozen home runs, 48 runs batted in. And the fastball lined to center right into Rowan's glove, and that's it. So the Dodgers go very quickly, quietly, and at the end of 3, 4-1, San Francisco. Hankook Tires. Tame the road with Hankook Tires. And by Mazda's Summer Drive-Off event. Drive off with the best deals of the summer on a fun-to-drive Mazda. Here's tonight's Aflac trivia question. Only 2 Dodgers have hit 30 or more home runs, 40 or more doubles, and drove in 100 or more RBIs in a single season. Who are they? Big numbers, only 2. 4th inning, 4-1 Giants. Sanchez, Velez, and Sanchez again. Strike. When Padilla worked the 3rd inning, he made 25 pitches, gave up 5 hits and 3 runs. Despite making the 25 pitches, only 3 were balls. 22 strikes. 1-2. 3 of the Giant hits came on the first pitch. One ball and 2 strikes. And that'll do it. So Sanchez strikes out a second time. 1 away in the 4th inning. 3rd strikeout for Vicente Padilla. Eugenio Velez, however, has been very tough. Velez hit a home run on the 8th pitch of his at-bat in the 1st inning. He was 0-2, kept fighting them off, and hit the 8th pitch for a home run. And then last time up, started the inning off with a base hit to left field and stole second. Foul back. 0-1. Eugenio Velez, switch hitter. A little bit of an unorthodox batting stance. Right leg is extended, trying to keep all of his weight back. 1-1. He's 6'1", and probably after Thanksgiving dinner he's 160 pounds. From San Pedro de Macri in the Dominican Republic. 25 years old. And little pop fly for a call going out. So they get Velez for the first time tonight. 2 down in the 4th. And Freddie Sanchez coming up. You know, we talked about Freddie, and we do it because it is inspirational. How he wore a cast on his leg from the time he was 1 day old. In fact, his mom said the doctors said they weren't sure if he'd ever walk. And there is a quote, I'm sure, that they cherish. The doctor said he should prepare for a job at a desk where he wouldn't have to be on his feet. Freddie Sanchez. What a story. 1 ball and 1 strike. He wore the cast on his right leg from the 2nd day of his life until he was 13 months old. Then he had surgery at Children's Hospital to repair the club foot. 2-1. Then he wore another cast until he was 2. So a different new cast just about each week. I mean, it was really brutal when you think of this little child, what he's going through. 2-1 to Freddie. Ground foul. They said that Freddie would sit in a bathtub for an hour so the cast would soften and come off. Then the next day his mom would take him by bus to Children's Hospital and a new cast would be put on. So you hear about that, and then you realize not only did he make it as a professional baseball player, but a big leaguer and a batting champion. Bouncer up the middle. Here comes for call behind the bag to get him, and Freddie was flying down the line. 1-2-3 inning, and at the end of 3 1/2, Giants 4, Dodgers 1. Only 2 Dodgers have hit 30 or more home runs, 40 or more doubles, drove in 100 or more RBIs in a single season. And of course, part of that key was the fact it said Dodgers, not L.A. Dodgers. So one was the great Babe Herman, and the other was the wonderfully gifted first baseman Eric Harris. 69 years apart. Just to give you the numbers as Andre Ethier checks in. That's going to be into left field for a base hit. So Ethier hit by a pitch and scored in the first inning. Now leads off the fourth with a base hit, and that'll bring up Manny. With 2 out in the first inning, if you weren't with us, Jonathan Sanchez had a no-ball 2-strike count against Andre Ethier, who was hitting a $1.50 against him. And he hit Ethier with a big, slow curveball, though Ramirez came up and promptly doubled to tie up the score. And the first pitch up and in, ball 1. Remember, Manny has worn Sanchez out. He came in hitting .500, 4 for 8 with a home run. Now he is 5 for 9. So Sanchez says hello. 1 ball and no strikes. Fastball outside, 2-0. When Jonathan Sanchez was at Ohio Dominican, a college in Puerto Rico, he had 4 no-hitters. And yet the scouts still didn't like his delivery. That's why it took the 27th round before he was selected. He's fastball, slider, changeup. Off speed for a strike. 2-1. Last year, right-handers hit .263, left-handers hit .235. 2-1 to Manny. 4-1 Giants, bottom of the 4th. Fastball, 2-2. Manny, 18 home runs, 57 runs batted in, a .304 batting average. We were talking about those 2 Dodgers, home runs, doubles, and RBIs. Babe Herman had 35 home runs, 48 doubles, and 130 runs batted in. Eric Harris, 34 home runs, 40 doubles, and 112 runs batted in. 2-2. Fastball, foul back. Manny with 5 home runs and 11 runs batted in his last 11 games. 2-2 the count. Giants 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 home runs. Sandoval with 2 aboard. Velez with the bases empty. Breaking ball slipped. He's had about 3 slippages trying to throw that curve. Welcome to the club. Fouled away. Still 3-2. 4 runs, 7 hits for the Giants, 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Nothing new to report. Bottom of the 6th inning over in Arizona, and they're in a 4-4 tie. To repeat, Dodgers lead the Rockies by 5 and the Giants by 8.5. Jonathan is 0-4 against the Dodgers in his young career. Fouled away again. That was a straight changeup, up and away, and Manny couldn't afford to guess that it was outside. 3-2. Ethier holding at first. Manny is basically a fly ball hitter, of course, so he has grounded into only 5 double plays. Time. And you can see Manny hit his chest. If say me, I asked for time. Three and two. Still 3-2. Plate umpire tonight is Jeff Nelson. He's been umpiring the big leagues for about 12 years. You may remember the name. He worked in the division series between the Dodgers and Cubs last year. He also worked the game when Ricky Henderson picked up his 3,000th hit. And he's worked the 05 World Series, the 06 All-Star game. So he has glistening credentials. 3-2 to count. Jeff Nelson. This is a 10-pitch at bat right now. Number 10. And a high fly ball right down the left field line and gone. And it's 4-3 Giants. His 19th home run. He has 3 RBIs tonight, 59 RBIs for the year. Giant lead is suddenly cut to 4-3, and the batter will be Matt Kemp. Off speed for a strike. Freddie Sanchez, in giving up the home run, has allowed 15. So 4-3 San Francisco. We're just warming up. Bottom of the 4th inning. Fouled away. That was quite an at-bat for Manny Ramirez on the 10th pitch. He got it down around the knees inside. And you can look at Sanchez. He knew that was a goner. It was down there and he just went down after it. So strong. So 4-3, Manny back in the dugout with Ronnie Belliard. Kemp fouling off 3. You know, for a slugger, you don't expect a 10-pitch at bat. Manny just kept fouling them off. As he gets closer to Mike Schmidt now, he trails Schmitty by 2. Got a long ways to go for Reggie and then his teammate Jim Thome. Oh and 2. All the way to the backstop. That was another attempt at a curveball. So he's had a lot of trouble for one reason or another gripping that ball. It just gets away from him. And of course, that was that expensive no ball 2 strike curveball he threw to Andre Ethier that hit Ethier on the small of the back, put him aboard, and he scored on Ramirez double. So Andre has scored twice hitting in front of Manny, and it's 4-3 Giants. Breaking ball. Uribe in the dirt. Too late. So Matt Kemp with an amazing burst of speed. Uribe made kind of a great circle route to come up with the ball. and then bounced it. And Kemp just did beat it. Bang, bang play at first, and the batter will be Casey Blake. Now meeting at the mound as Dave Righetti goes out. One left-hand coach, one left-hand pitcher, each with a major league no-hitter. So in the inning, Ethier sliced a single to left. Manny had a 10-pitch at-bat, and on the 10th pitch, hit it into the seats just inside the left field foul pole. Kemp now legs out a roller to short, and Casey Blake the batter. So with Matt Kemp, nobody out, representing the tying run, Kemp has stolen 33 out of 40. However, it's a tough combination running on a left-hander who's looking at you and Benji Molina, a Gold Glove catcher. So let's see. First thing, they'll try to take a step away from Kemp. Benji eyeballing Bruce Bochy, who of course was a big league catcher in his day. And a strike. 0-1. Casey having a look at Larry Boa. One ball and one strike. Sanchez has been wild enough. 2 walks and a hit batter, having trouble with the curveball. Though it's tough to call pitch out, but you can bet that's on Molina's mind and Bruce Bochy's mind. 1-1. A strike. 1-2. Bruce Bochy, big quiet man, skipper of the Giants. He was born in Landau-Boussac. He was born in France. His father was a sergeant major in the army. So Bruce bounced around quite a bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes. High fly ball into left field. Back goes Velez to the track at the wall to make the catch. And at second base, Kemp returns to first. Casey thought he hit it out. Not quite. So a long out to left, 1 down, and the batter will be James Loney. Loney struck out in the second inning. With a left-hand hitter, Molina can use him as a screen. So Kemp not only has to worry about Sanchez move to first, he has to be careful because Molina can take a blind shot at him easily, and now Sanchez does. This is a great part of any game. And there he goes. Pitch is high. Molina's throw is on a bounce and very late. Not much on that throw by Benji. So Kemp does what you would expect. Steals his 34th. Got a good jump. Ran right out from under. Looked back, which is rare, because you would think it was a straight steal. When they look back, they're expecting it to possibly be hit and run. So match 34, Michael Bourne out of sight with 58. Nigel Morgan 42, and then Matt. Down in the Dodger bullpen, James McDonald begins to warm up. Remember, in the first 4 innings, Vicente Padilla made 82 pitches. Sanchez has given up 2 singles, a stolen base, and a home run. 1 out. Tying run at second. On the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Vicente Padilla, number 1, has gone 4. He has to go at least 5 to get a possible win. And he's losing, but only by 1. Down in the Giant pen, Waldis Joaquin begins to throw. Fastball, high drive to right center, but playable. Rowland is there. Kemp tags on the catch. Rowland with a great arm. Wow. But Kemp is able to get over to third. From deep center, Aaron Rowland, a 1-hopper to Pablo Sandoval. Love to watch a big leaguer with a good arm. Right on the money. I always remember an all-star game at Yankee Stadium several years ago, and the outfielders were throwing to the bases, and in right field, Ellis Valentine, Dave Parker, and Reggie Smith. And what an exhibition of throwing they put on. It's always really a miss seeing the outfielders throw to the bases before the game. They never do it anymore. They used to do it all the time. All right, 1 ball and no strikes to Orlando Hudson. So the tying run 90 feet away, and as we always do under those circumstances, we check. And for Jonathan Sanchez, it's not a bad idea that we check. He has 11 wild pitches. 1 ball and no strikes. Hudson followed by Padilla, who's out on deck. Way things are operating for the Dodgers, however, if Hudson gets aboard, they would hit for Padilla, you would think. That's a strike. 1-1. So with McDonald throwing in the pen, Padilla having made 82 pitches, Boshi can't afford to put Hudson aboard. And you can see Loretta with a bat, Homey with a bat. Ball 2, 2-1. Giants 4, Dodgers 3. Giants led 1-0. Dodgers tied. Giants led 4-1. Now 4-3. Holds up on a strike. Orlando thought it was outside. 2-2 the count. Four runs, 7 hits for the Giants, 3 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 2-2. Breaking ball got him looking. Oh, yeah. That was one of the better pitches Sanchez has made tonight, but not the pitch he made to Manny Ramirez. Number 10th pitch of the inning, and Manny hit it out. And at the end of 4-3 Giants. Jack in the Box, where you can get anything on the menu any time of day. We're going to the fifth inning, 4-3 in favor of the Giants. Vicente Padilla, fortunate enough after a very shaky start to still be in there after having made 82 pitches. So now in the fifth inning, Randy Wynn, Pablo Sandoval, and then Benji Molina. Wynn has walked and hit into a force play. Four runs, 7 hits for the Giants, 3 runs, 4 hits, and an error for the Dodgers. They're in the 7th inning in Arizona, all tied up 4-4. And that's ball 1 to Randy Wynn. Ronald Belisario is up now in the pen, fouled away. So we saw Guillermo Mota briefly. Then we saw James McDonald. But now as we get a little deeper into the game, we see Belisario. One ball and 1 strike. Two and 1 to count to Randy Wynn. Padilla, besides allowing the 4 runs and 7 hits, finally retired the side in order in the 4th inning. He really needed that. And that's going to be whacked into left field for a base hit. So the leadoff man giving him a bad time, and he's in trouble again. Coming up is Pablo Sandoval, who had flied to left field in the 1st inning. And then with 2 men aboard in the 3rd, he is powerful enough to take a pitch on the outside part of the plate, turn on it, and hit it into the right center field pavilion. So Sandoval has 22 home runs, 17 of the 22 hit left-handed, and he has 80 runs batted in. Big swing, 0-1 the count. One of the things that Pablo Sandoval has apparently brought to the Giants, they have made it a different clubhouse, a happier place, a more enjoyable place. In fact, Barry Zito had an interesting comment about Sandoval's influence on the team. He said when you first get to the major leagues, it's so much fun. And then as time goes by, you get jaded. The idea is always to be who you were when you first got here. I think we look at Pablo, and he reminds us of that. He's only 23. 0-2. And popped up, and I mean up and up. A trio of Dodgers. It will be Blake hollering Martin off the ball. So Casey takes charge, and you need that to be 1 away. So Sandoval pops it up, and the batter will be Benji Molina. Molina grounded into a double play and struck out. So Benji is 0 for 2. Randy Wynn over there at first base has stolen 15 out of 17. So you think in this kind of a game he might try to get a jump. Boy, does Padilla hold the ball, huh? Ground ball down to Blake. They get one. They're gonna get two because Hudson has all night to get Molina. That's the second time that Orlando Hudson backed away, had more time than ever. And for Molina, it is an effort to run down to first base. And at the end of 4.5, 4-3 Giants. Giants lead the Dodgers 4-3. Benji Molina, it's all uphill from home plate to first base. On two double plays, watch Orlando Hudson take forever before he throws. The first one, he backs away from Wynn, and the other one, he jumps in the air to get away from Wynn. Still plenty of time. In fact, Molina didn't even get into the frame until the ball was in Loney's glove. So if you're 35, you've been catching every day, and here you are, the middle of September. It's got to be a grind, and it's pretty obvious in watching Benji labor down the line. He has grounded into 13 double plays so far this year. Well, Mark Loretta will come off the bench and bat for Padilla, who had 2 easy innings after laboring the first 3. Sanchez, meanwhile, with a no ball, 1 strike count. Mark Loretta is 3 for 5 against Sanchez in the past. 1-1. So Loretta, one of the many valuable players that the Dodgers have picked up. He's had 13 base hits as a pinch hitter. Half a dozen runs batted in as a pinch hitter. Mark, of course, basically you would think of him as an infielder, second or third, but he's also helped out a great deal at first. Well, the Dodgers are really moving their bullpen around. Padilla, who looks exhausted, made 90 pitches, and he's still a pitcher of record. 2-2 the count. He made 70 pitches in the first 3 innings, but he made 20 in the next 2 innings. So he winds up making 90. And we'll see what happens to him as the Dodgers try to come from behind. 2-2. Pulled foul. Let's go back to the Dodger bullpen. We started out, we saw Guillermo Mota. Then we saw James McDonald. Then we saw Ronald Belisario. And now we're looking at Ramon Troncoso. 2-2. And ball 3. Sanchez had made 65 pitches in 4 innings, but he really labored in the 4th inning. He made 28 pitches in that inning alone. 3-2. Still 3-2. Game 1 of the 3-game series, John Garland and Brad Penny tomorrow afternoon. And then the finale will pit the Giant ace Tim Lincecum against Randy Wolf, who pitched so well last time out. Lincecum, he is really worth the money to watch him pitch. Fly ball to center, very playable. Rowan is there. So 1 away. And the batter, Rafael Furcal.
That's your shortstop, number 15, Rafael Furcal.
Furcal has walked and fouled out 0 for 1. Rafael burned the Giants. It was without a doubt my favorite defensive play of the year. I mean, it's one thing to go up against the wall or dive at a ball, etc. But that play that Rafael made against the Giants in San Francisco was rather remarkable. And now, talking about remarkable, he hits it to left center and gone to tie up the game. Rafael hits his 8th home run, his 40th run batted in to tie up the ball game. His last home run was in Cincinnati, and Boshi says, "Give me the ball." And so for Jonathan Sanchez, who has never beaten the Dodgers, he is 0-4 in his career, and he's history again tonight. The only good thing for Sanchez, he can't lose. Bob Howery coming in. We'll be back. And now Bob Howery comes out of the Giant pen. Interesting about Howery, not particularly interesting to Bob, 3 of the 5 home runs he's allowed have been walk-off home runs, all hit by rookies. Drew Stubbs of Cincinnati, Garrett Jones of Pittsburgh, Colby Rasmus of the Cardinals. And according to the Elias Bureau, no other player in Major League history has allowed 3 game-ending home runs to rookies. Not much of an honor, I guess, but Bob will take it in stride. He's 34, out of Phoenix, lives in Glendale, Arizona, went to McNeese State. He's been described as a good old country boy. 0-1. Punched on the ground, backing up is Ishikawa, and he'll do it himself. So Martin grounds out. He's 0 for 3. And the batter will be Andre Ethier. Meanwhile, Raphael continues to talk to Ronnie Belliard, and quietly sitting, maybe listening, Blake DeWitt. A couple of veteran infielders who could write a book. Hiroki Kuroda working on his gum as Ethier, who has been bad news for Sanchez. He was hit on a big sloppy curveball that must have slipped on a no-ball 2-strike count, hit him on the back, and then Ramirez doubled him in. And next time up, Ethier single to left, and Ramirez hit a 10-pitch at bat and hit a home run. I don't know. I never think of home run hitters having lengthy at bats. You tell me an infielder like Alex Cora, yeah, I can see that. But for a big free swinger like Ramirez to have a 10-pitch at bat seems a little strange, rare, different. Of course, come to think of it, Manny is rare and different. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-4. Bottom of the 5th. Ground ball to Freddie Sanchez. That'll be the inning. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 swing of the bat by Rafael Percal, and it's all tied up 4-4. Russell Martin, Marlon Anderson. Does that ring a bell? Well, it was 3 years ago today. Dodgers in the 9th inning, trailing San Diego, had 4 home runs by those 4. And then in the 10th inning, Nomar Garciaparra hit the 5th home run of the night, and the Dodgers went off with a win. 3 years ago. Drew, Martin, Kemp, Anderson. Wow. Let's go back to this one. Four, Giants and Dodgers. Juan Uribe against Ramon Troncoso. Troncoso coming into the ball game. He is a workhorse in his 69th game. Jonathan Broxton has been in 67. And a fly ball to left field. Manny right there. One out in the sixth, and Travis Ishikawa coming up. Ramon Troncoso out of the Dominican, working on Ishikawa from upstate Washington. Troncoso is only 26, signed as a free agent by the Dodgers 7 years ago. Fastball, slider change, but the fastball has a heavy sink to it. Ball one. So when he's on his game, he gets a lot of ground balls. One ball and no strikes. And that's going foul. Ishikawa, soft line drive to Orlando Hudson, and then last time up, single to right. Troncoso has a string going. He's tossed 9 straight innings without allowing an earned run. And he really picked up since, about the middle of August. His earned run average is less than 1.5. Foul ball. 1-2 the count. So Vicente Padilla labored long and hard. Got away with it. Made 90 pitches. Thanks to Furcal, goes out where he can't lose. Padilla was trying to win the 98th victory of his career tonight. And a drive into right center, and chasing it is Kemp. It'll bounce against the wall and into second base goes Ishikawa with a long double. He's 2 for 3. Went down to get it. That might have been below the knees, but so was the home run ball that Manny Ramirez hit. So Ishikawa 2 for 3 with 1 out. Aaron Rowan trying to pick him up, and looks like Fred Lewis is going to come out and hit. He will. Lewis is on deck. That's a strike. Rowan single to left, came up with 2 on in the 3rd inning and hit back to the box. Aaron batting .266. Foul ball. 0-2. Swung on and missed. First base not occupied. Martin has to throw to get him. And on the play, Ishikawa moves to third. And now Fred Lewis will be coming up to bat for Bob Howery. Take another look. Bounced away. Good play by Martin. A sliding stop, scamper, throw, and get him. Fred Lewis. Boy, you talk about arriving in a hurry. I guess you could say Fred Lewis did that 2 years ago. He had made only 4 starts in the major leagues and hit for the cycle. The home run in the cycle was his first big league home run. He did it at Coors Field in Denver on Mother's Day. And then his second home run in his career, for good measure, was a grand slam. He's now his teammate, but he faced Randy Johnson and had 4 hits against Randy. And Lewis had been hitting 185 against left-handers, so he can do it. Hitting .266, 4 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Ball 1. Fred is from Hattiesburg, Mississippi. He'll be 29. Went to Southern University. And ball 2. He's 6'2", 200-pounder, and runs well. Two balls, no strikes. And that's a fly ball slicing on Manny, and he can't get it. Over his head, the run will score, and Lewis, a long slicing double to left. And the Giants again take a lead, this time 5-4. That ball really carried. Fastball away, so he hit it inside out. Manny over to his right, but missed it by plenty. Of course, Ramirez was shading him over toward left center. Couldn't catch up to it. So Ishikawa, 2 for 3, scores a tiebreaker. And now it will be Eugenio Velez trying to pick up Lewis. So that's the end of Troncoso's scoreless string of 9 innings. Strike. Boy, when they were teaching Eugenio Velez how to hit, they certainly began by saying, son, you have to stay back on the ball. You're hitting off your front foot. So here's what we want you to do. And this is the end result. And he's hitting .275 with that stance. Nice save by Martin. You see a fellow's an overstrider, they either spread eagle him like a Joe DiMaggio or close him up like a Stan Musial, models for left and right hitters. And then the extreme. Fly ball to left field. Manny on his horse. This one is going to carry off the wall. Scoring easily is Lewis on a double by Velez. And it is 6-4 Giants. 3 doubles in the inning against Ramon Troncoso. And for Velez, he has a single, a double, and a home run tonight. So Joe Torre, who's had almost all of his right-handers up. Remember, we counted off the names: Guillermo Mota, James McDonald, Ronald Belisario. Finally, you brought in Troncoso. And now he'll have to go back to that very busy bullpen, where Ronald Belisario will be coming through the gate. Ramon will exit, and we'll be back. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Troncoso made 15 pitches. So the Giants, who led 4-1, and the Giants suddenly had that tied, now have untied it and lead 6-4. We can also tell you the Rockies and D-backs were tied 4-4, but the D-backs have just scored 2 and lead the Rockies 6-4, top of the 8th inning. In the bottom of the 7th, Gerardo Parra, their left fielder, had a 2-run double to break a 4-4 tie. So the numbers might hold up yet again. Arizona has won 11 of 15 from Colorado at home since last year. And of course, that would certainly be good news for the Giants. 2 balls and no strikes to Freddie Sanchez, 1 for 3. Ground ball for call from the rim, cranks it up, throws him out. However, 3 doubles for 2 runs, and at the end of 5.5 innings, as Fred Lewis sits back with a relaxed look, 6-4 Giants. Manny Ramirez went down to get one from Jonathan Sanchez and muscled it into the left field seats. Manny hitting that home run with Ethier aboard. So it means tonight Manny is 2 for 2 with a double and a home run and 3 RBIs. That would be his first multi-extra base hit game since August the 11th in San Francisco, when he had a double and a home run. So now he'll be coming up to face Brandon Metters. Metters out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. An accomplished guitarist. And as far as his pitching is concerned, Metters facing Ramirez. Man, he's 2 for 3 with a home run against him. A strike, 0-1. Metters has been very effective against first hitter. That's a strike. He's retired 25 of the last 32 first batters that he faced, which of course is a #1 commandment for a pitcher. Get the first pitch strike, get the first hitter. 0-2. 1-2. Metters went to school at Mississippi State. Plays more classical and alternative rock than country. Here's a fella from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I guess you automatically think he's going to play country guitar, but he's not that way. 6'1" and a very hard 195. They say He is extremely low body fat. Manny on the slider went down to get it and came up empty. Down there, wound up in the dirt. That home run that he hit in the 4th inning looked like it was below the knees. So here's Matt Kemp, line back in the 1st inning to Jonathan Sanchez, singled to short, stole a base, but the Dodgers left him at 3rd in the 4th inning. Matt Kemp 3 for 6 with a home run against Meadows in the past. Dodgers have home runs by Ramirez with a man aboard, for call with nobody on. Sandoval homered with 2 men aboard. Velez homered with the bases empty, so 4 home runs tonight. Of course, it figured we see some home runs tonight. We just told you about what happened 3 years ago. Dodgers hit 4 home runs in the 9th inning. And that's ball 4. So Matt figures to shake them up a little bit. And you know, Dodger fans can once again turn their baseball dreams into reality at the Dodger Adult Baseball Camp this year in Vero Beach, Florida. You can join Dodger Landed November 1 through the 7th for a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And to sign up, call 323-224-2646 or visit Dodgers.com/fantasycamp. Casey Blake walked and just missed hitting one out. He sent Velez to the wall in left field for his long fly ball. Case hitting .280, 17 home runs, 74 runs batted in. With Kemp at first and Blake at the plate. Blake representing the potential tying run. Meadows has given up half a dozen home runs in 60 innings. 2-0. Tomorrow afternoon, Brad Penny and John Garland. Sunday afternoon, Tim Lincecum and Randy Wolf. Two balls, no strikes. Two and one. Well, the D-backs had Ryan Roberts tattoo one for a home run. And if you know Ryan, you can understand the expression. Anyway, the D-backs lead the Rockies now 7-4, bottom of the 8th inning. It's 6-4 Giants in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-1. Kemp's already burned them with a stolen base in the 4th inning. He's stolen 34 out of 41. Meadows fastball, curve, slider, working on a cutter and a changeup. Ball 3. Waiting his turn on deck, James Loney. Meadows is 4-1. Three and two. Slider up. $14 more games left to finish off the regular season. There goes Kemp, and it's going to go foul down the right field line, out of play. Dodgers have 2 more with the Giants and 3 with Colorado. In between, 3 with Washington, 4 with Pittsburgh, and then 8 and 9 with San Diego. So Kemp was going 3-2 with 1 out. Figures he'll be going again. There he goes. Fouled away again. Another slider, only a very soft slider. The gun says 70. So Matt looks like he's been working on a broken down car. 3-2 again. Brandon Metters was originally an 8th round pick by the Diamondbacks back in 2001. Came up in 05 and was with them right up through last year. They're playing Havana Gala, and that reminds me to send along our best wishes to all of our Jewish friends at sunset, the beginning of Rosh Hashanah, and a mitzvah on your house. Meanwhile, they're working on an equipment part with Benji Molina. So 1 out, 6-4 Giants. Dodgers have Kemp at first, and we wait. So Benji's strapping it on, and we'll be around ready in a minute. Giants got a run. Velez homered in the first. Dodgers came right back to tie it up. Ramirez doubled. Sandoval hit a 3-run home run. Ramirez hit a 2-run home run. Percal hit a home run to tie it up 4-4, and 3 doubles in the 6th inning gave the Giants 2, and they lead 6-4. So Benji is still not quite ready. I wonder if they're going to have to bring out. Yes, they are. They're going to have to bring out a whole bunch of equipment. So timeout. Well, we can fill a little bit of the time by telling you about that important game, the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. Yorvit Torrealba had a 2-run single, so the Rockies had a deuce in the first inning. However, Miguel Montero had a scoring fly ball. Chris Young scored. That made it 2-1 in favor of the Rockies. Then Troy Tulowitzki hit a 2-run home run, and the Rockies led 4-1 behind Jason Marquez, but he didn't have it. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Ryan Roberts had an RBI single. The big first baseman, Brandon Allen, hit a 2-run home run. Then in the 7th inning, Gerardo Parra had a 2-out, 2-run double. And add to that, Ryan Roberts had a solo home run. So the Giants have to be in some happy spirits. They lead 6-4. The D-backs lead the Rockies 7-4. A Giant victory and a Rockies defeat. Giants would be trailing by 2.5. And they're now going to the top of the 9th inning in Arizona. Okay. They have put Benji Molina together, and Blake up there 3-2, which is a little tough for Brandon Metters. I mean, he's working hard. He gets 3-2, and all of a sudden his catcher's equipment falls apart. Now he has to pick it up. 3-2, no margin for mistake. Kemp's been going the last 2 pitches, and there he goes again, and it's popped up. It's Uribe. So Casey pops it up to go 0-for-2. Kemp holds at first, and James Loney coming up. And now, with Loney coming up, Bruce Bochy makes his way out to the mound, and apparently he will go to the pen. Dan Runzler, a left-hander, is getting ready, I assume, for James Loney, and here he comes, so we'll be back. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Dan Runzler, who's 24 years old, big fella, he's 6'4", 230, and a local boy. He was born in Santa Monica, a graduate of Chaminade High School, and then went to UC Riverside. He's done very well against left-handers. Left-handers are 0 for 9 against him. And he's facing a good one in James Loney. So you have Kemp at first, 2 out, 6-4 Giants, bottom of the 6th. Loney is hitting .299 against left-handers. He is more than holding his own. 0-1 the count. James tonight struck out and flied to center. Friday night crowd, loud, exuberant, having a great time. Hope you'll be out here with us tomorrow afternoon or Sunday afternoon for sure. Giants and the Dodgers. Fastball, little chopper. But Dan's the man as he comes in to get Loney. Dodgers go, leaving a man at first, and at the end of 6. 6-4 San Francisco.
Rated PG. Starts October 16th.
fielder number 2, Randy Wynn.
Seventh inning, 6-4 in favor of the Giants. It'll be Randy Wynn, Pablo Sandoval, and Benji Molina against Ronald Belisario. Wynn walked, hit into a force play, single to left, hitting .266. 0-1. High bouncer over the mound. Here comes Raphael to get him. The Wynn nipped on a good play by Raphael, one away. And Pablo Sandoval coming up. Sandoval flied to left, hit that big 3-run home run, and then last time up popped to third. What a find Sandoval has turned out to be. Remember last year, no one had even heard of him. And what an impression he made immediately. He had 145 at bats last year for the Giants, and he hit .345, struck out only 14 times. In fact, in the minor leagues, he was really something to strike out. That's foul. He had over 2,000 minor league at bats and struck out less than 250 times. How's he doing this year? Well, he's had about 565 plate appearances, and he has struck out only 78 times. 1-2. Chopper to Orlando. Benji coming up. Well, the Rockies are not going to go quiet into that good night. In the ninth inning, Ian Stewart just had an RBI single. The Rockies are still hitting. The Diamondbacks are holding on to what is now a 7-5 lead, top of the ninth. For Benji, at least he doesn't have to worry about hitting into a double play. He is 0 for 3, struck out and hit into 2 double plays. A strike. Benji hitting .263, 18 home runs, 74 runs batted in. 1-1. Benji was raised in a small Puerto Rican town of Dorado, not far from Pudge Rodriguez's hometown. Ground ball, it's going to be another uphill run for Benji. So down go the Giants. Good job for Belisario. He's gotten 4 ground balls. Crowd now will be asked to join in God Bless America and then take me out to the ball game.
Leading off the bottom of the seventh for the Dodgers, second baseman, number 13, Orlando Hudson.
Giants lead the Dodgers 6-4. Bottom of the seventh inning. It'll be Orlando Hudson. Ronnie Belliard is now on deck to bat for Ronald Belisario. And then it would be Rafael Furcal. Hudson has grounded into a double play, struck out, facing Dan Runzler. Ball one. Runzler was tutored by, you may remember, a big left-hander, Steve Klein, earlier this year at Augusta. One ball and no strikes. Line drive, base hit into right field. Orlando Hudson singles to right off Runzler, and the batter now will be Belliard. With a runner at first, nobody out, seventh inning, 6-4 Giants.
Number 3, Ronnie Belliard.
Mark Loretta appeared as a pinch hitter in the fifth inning and flied to center. Down in the Dodger bullpen, and that really adds a little spice to the cake. Chad Billingsley warming up. Billingsley did not be a starter in this series. May or may not be a surprise to a lot of people, but now he's up in the pen. Belliard hitting .261. He has 8 home runs, 30 runs batted in. By the way, final score, the Diamondbacks beat the Rockies 7-5. Fastball in there. Fastball at 93. Oh, and 2 the count. Ball one. Now down in the Dodger bullpen, George Sherrill gets up to join Chad Billingsley. 1-2 to Ronnie Belliard. So the Giants lead 6-4 and the Rockies lost. Fastball, big chopper, foul ball. Still 1-2. Ronnie Belliard has certainly been another addition. So valuable. In the 13 games in which he has played, he's hit .319, 3 home runs, 4 doubles, 8 RBIs. You may remember his very first at bat as a Dodger in Arizona. He hit a home run. 2-2. I love the line that Steve Klein gave Dan Runzler. And it was simply this: don't ever give the hitter too much credit. Now that's a pitcher talking, isn't it? 2-2. Off speed, popped up. Backing out is Freddie Sanchez and calling. So Belliard pops it up, 1 away, and the batter Rafael Furcal. I don't think we've been able to really show it. Maybe we can. That is quite a wiggle kick that Runzler has. While he was pitching to Belliard, Orlando Hudson was going back to first base almost every pitch. So a little something extra, a wrinkle by a left-hander reliever, a very active right leg. In the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes, new ball in play. Furcal walked in the first inning, fouled out in the third, homered in the fifth to tie the game up 4-4. However, 3 doubles later by the Giants, and they untied it and lead 6-4. Rafael has 8 home runs, 40 RBIs. Hudson trying to see that move without being picked off, but you can see him leaning back on the pitch. And Hudson is a very, very good base stealer, very knowledgeable. Hitting late with the pitcher behind him, he doesn't have much of an opportunity to run, but he has stolen 8 out of 9. 1-1. That's going to go foul. 1-2 the count to Rafael Furcal. Furcal, with his home run tonight, has hit safely now in 11 of his last 12. He has scored 11 runs in his last 12 games. But he went 44 games without a stolen base. Points up not that he's 31, but that he had such serious back surgery. Fouled away. Rafael Furcal, what a warrior he has been for the Dodgers. Fulfilled the same role when he was with the Braves. In golf, they would call him a grinder. He's only 5'9", 31 years old. Just missed it. 2-2. Remember last year, Rafael could only play in 36 games for the Dodgers. Here he is in game number 138 this year. 2-2. Three and two. So Runzler, a local boy, gave up the single to Hudson, battled Belisario and got him to pop up, and now goes all the way with Furcal. And waiting on deck, Russell Martin. We'll watch Hudson now. He's not going. And another foul ball. So Furcal making Runzler work. This has been a 7-pitch at bat. The lengthiest at bat tonight, back in the 4th inning. Manny Ramirez had a 10-pitch at bat and hit a 2-run home run. 3-2 on number 8. And ball 4. So Bruce Bochy looks like he's coming to get him. A base hit and a walk. Russell Martin followed by Andre Ethier. Sergio Romo warming up, and it looks like a double switch. Nate Shearholz is going to come into the game, and Randy Wynn will come out. We'll wait for the arrival of a pitcher out of the bullpen, and we'll be back. stretch for a 2-run home run. And then later on in the 5th inning, Rafael Furcal reached the seats for his 8th home run of the year. That tied up the game 4-4. But the Giants came back with doubles by Ishikawa and Fred Lewis and Eugenio Velez. And the Giants have taken a 2-run lead again. Martin, Ethier, and Ramirez, but there's 1 out. And Sergio Romo from Brawley, who went to school at Mesa State in Colorado with the Giants last year. And Martin up there, breaking ball, strike. With Romo, who's 5'11", 185. Fastball, curveball. He has a slider, a splitter, and an occasional change. 0-1. There's the slider. 0-2. When his slider is working, he actually has 2 of them. One of them for a strike, and the other one induces a lot of ground balls. As you can see, he's very careful when he shaves. 0-2. And this little low, 1-2, another slider. For Romo, as a kid growing up, he spent a lot of time in Mexicali, Mexico to play baseball. His folks are Mexican. Drafted in the 28th round by the Giants. And he's inherited a little burden here. 2 on, 1 out. Slider on the inside corner. So 1 is a big sweeper, and Martin is going to argue with Jeff Nelson that the pitch was inside. And of course, he's going to lose the argument. Watch the break on this thing. Martin is surprised. Awfully close one way or the other, isn't it? So that brings up Andre Ethier. Romo facing Ethier. Andre is 0-for-3. Romo has been absolutely brilliant against left-hand batters up to now. Ball 1. Left-hand hitters are hitting 167 against him. No home runs. 7 for 42. Pretty remarkable. One ball and no strikes. 1-1. Ethier hit by a pitch, rode home on Ramirez double in the 1st inning, opened up the 4th with a single to left, and rode home on the home run by Ramirez. And then he waits with 2 out. 2 on, and the Giants lead by 2, 6-4. Off speed, missed that outside part of the plate. 2-1 the count. Last year, when Romo made his big league debut, he had a streak of almost 18 scoreless innings over his last 13 appearances. Two and one. Breaking ball, fouled away. 2-2. Well, you think he was tough against left-handers this year. Last year, left-handers hit 083 against him. I mean, he has been a standout for the Giants. The total opposition batting average against him last year, 138. Romo 5'11", 185, but by big league standards, he is a small pitcher. Scouts like him big out there on the mound. So deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 2 on. Giants lead by 2. Got him, and he does it again. He comes in and shuts down another very good left-hand batter. Wow. And at the end of 7, it's 6-4 Giants. Look at the sink on that thing, and look at Sergio. I mean, he is beyond the zone. He is thrilled, and you talk about working off nervous tension and excitement. He gets 5s all over the place, and well, he should, as he pauses to refresh. That was a tremendous assignment. 2 on, 1 out, and he shuts the Dodgers down. However, there is still a 9th inning, and we're heading right now to the 8th. And Uribe, Ishikawa, and Rowan, in that order, will face Chad Billingsley. In his young career, he's had 29 relief appearances. Last one was last year at the end of the year. Just worked 2 innings to kind of sharpen up. Strike to Uribe. Grounded out, single flied out. So for Billingsley, trying to rebuild some confidence. 12-10, 1 ball and 1 strike. Chad's strikeout to walk ratio better than 2-1. Earned run average 3.9. 2-1. You don't see it when you look at the fact he is 2-to-1 ratio strikeouts to walks, but his complaint is he hasn't been able to put the ball where he wants it to be. 2-2. He'll try to throw a strike on, let's say, an inside corner to a right-hand hitter, and it drifts out over the plate. Which reminds me of one of the things that Greg Maddux said. That's the toughest pitch. A right-hander trying to get the inside corner strike to a right-hand batter. 3-2. Uribe 1 for 3. Juan batting .290. 13 home runs, 46 runs batted in. Ground ball to Blake. Giants had 3 doubles in the 6th inning. Since then, they've had 5 consecutive ground balls. And the batter now, Ishikawa, lined out to Hudson, single to right, and doubled and scored a run in the 6th inning. Aaron Rowand on deck, and Nate Shearholtz, who took over in right field, bats ninth. 2 down. Now Rowan, single to left, hit back to the box and struck out. Rowand against Billingsley is hitting .316. He has a half a dozen hits. Ramirez, Kemp, and Blake in the bottom of the 8th inning. Two and up. The paid attendance tonight, the 8th sellout. It's a whopper. 53,679. 53,679. And a drive to left field, and that's gone. There's no doubt about it. It's way back in the Dodger bullpen. And that makes it 7-4 Giants. And that has to be a blow to Billingsley's confidence. It is the 15th home run that Chad has allowed. So a 2-out home run by Aaron Rowand, and there was no doubt about it. As soon as he made contact, fastball up and in, and he just turned and jerked it out. So Padilla allowed 4, Troncoso allowed 2, and now Billingsley allows the home run. 7-4 Giants in the 8th. And here's Nate Shearholtz, ball 1. Shearholtz is 4 for 7 against Billingsley. More hard times. And Nate has been a very successful pinch hitter, but of course he's not pinch hitting tonight. He took over from Randy Wynn. 1 ball and 1 strike. Dodgers have won 9 of the previous 15. 5 of 9 up there, 4 of 6 down here. Ground ball up the middle, backhanded. The throw not nearly in time, especially to the left-hand hitter. So Shearholtz singles, and the batter will be Eugenio Velez. Velez with a single, a double, and a home run. Hitting .278. Hit his 5th home run of the year on an 8-pitch at bat in the 1st inning. He has 27 runs batted in. That's a strike. 0-1. Giants led 4-1. Dodgers tied at 4-4. Giants have pulled away again, 6-4 and now 7-4. Time at the plate. Nate Shearholtz over there at first base has stolen 2 out of 3. Oh, and 2. Velez almost winds up on a pitch. Interesting, just looking at some of the batting styles we've seen of late. I mean, we pointed out Velez, then you look at Aaron Rowand. You remember how Jeff Bagwell looked like he was sitting in a chair? Different strokes for different folks. 0-2. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th, Manny Ramirez, Matt Kemp, and then Casey Blake. 1-2. And there he goes. Pitch way inside. That was an impossible pitch for Russell Martin to handle. No way. So Shearholt steals it easily. Martin got a ball down and in, almost in the dirt at the feet of Velez. He had a backhand, and by the time he comes up, no chance. So Shearholt's a stolen base. Velez had a stolen base in the third inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Billingsley against Velez. Eugenio is 1 for 3 against him. 7 runs, 13 hits for the Giants. 4 runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Dodgers. Giants have had 2 home runs, then the third here by Rowan. So a total of 3 home runs and 3 doubles. The Dodgers have 2 home runs and 1 double. One and 2. And that's going to be rifled into right field, and Ethier makes a fine catch. So Billingsley, rather unconvincing, home run single, and then a diving catch to save another run. And it's 7-4 Giants. And the song they play here in the 8th inning every night, Don't Stop Believing. And it makes it rather interesting because Steve Perry, who sings that great song, is a rabid Giant fan. And he was quoted as saying, I have to leave in the top of the 8th inning. I don't want to hear my song used as a Dodger pep song, but that's what they do, and that's the way it is. Here's Manny Ramirez, doubled, homered, and struck out. Strike. Manny with 546 home runs, 2 back of Mike Schmidt. He has passed the great Mantle by 10. 0-1. Breaking ball. 0-2. So Sergio Romo, who was an electric wire out there on the mound, striking out Martin and Ethier, short-circuiting the Dodgers, and then went flying into the Giant dugout. Now here he goes in the bottom of the 8th. The boy from Brawley. Slider got him. Wow. Sergio Romo struck out Martin, struck out Ethier. Now he strikes out Ramirez. Breaking ball down and away. Great pitch. Ethier struck out on a fastball, and the bottom just dropped out of that thing. Martin was called out on a slider on the inside corner. Ramirez strikes out on a slider away. And now let's see what Kemp gets. Fastball. Fastball at 91. Another fastball. So the thinking, apparently, the Dodgers are seeing so many sliders. Let's go the other way with Kemp. 2 fastballs, 1 ball and 1 strike. And that's going to be pulled into left field. So Kemp, a 1-out single in the 8th. That means Matt's been on base 3 times with 2 singles and a walk, and the batter will be Casey Blake. So Romo now has to pitch out of a stretch. Blake has walked, flied to left, popped up 0 for 2. Down in the Giant bullpen, left-handed Jeremy Affeldt begins to loosen up. You have James Loney on deck. Slider, strike, 0-1. That's not a hard biting pitch at all. It almost looks like just a curveball, kind of on a flat plane. At least that pitch was. And another one. Slider, slider, slider. 0-2. Bounced around going to college. Arizona Western Junior College. 1 at North Alabama. 1 at Mesa State in Colorado. And another slider. I mean, 3 in a row. So that's 1 too many. And Blake says thank you very much. So live by the slider, etc. So the tying runs are aboard. Loney's coming up, and Bruce Bochy is heading for the mound to bring in Jeremy Affeldt. Now it's interesting because Ethier struck out, and we were telling you about Romo and how effective he is against left-handers. However, this is perhaps a second look, and Loney will be coming up, and we'll be back. One out. James Loney coming up, and Jeremy Affeldt coming in. 30-year-old left-hander out of Phoenix, lives up in Medical Lake, Washington. Went to Spokane High School and had a scholarship to Gonzaga, but he signed with the Kansas City Royals instead, and that's a while ago, back in 1997. For Affeldt, he'll bring a fastball, curve, change, and a cutter. When he was in the starting rotation, he used the changeup. Discarded it for a while, brought it back in spring training of last year. So Affeldt ready to work to Loney. James Loney is 2 for 6 with a home run against Affeldt. Jeremy has a solid ERA of 1.8 and he has allowed only 2 home runs. Loney came up with a man aboard in the 6th inning, and the left-hander Runzler got him out. So now he faces Affeldt. Bottom of the 8th, 1 out, 2 on, and the Giants leading 7-4. Their closer, Brian Wilson, is up in the bullpen. Giants spurred on by the fact the Rockies lost. Fastball, full foul. Loney was sitting on the fastball, and did he ever turn on that thing? 0-1 the count. So he got what he was looking for and ripped it foul. Fastball up and turn that up a torso, get the right hip out of the way, and let her fly. No balls and 1 strike. Affeldt 2 on, 6'4", 220. Breaking ball off the plate. So fastball in, then that big bender away. So a Romo is referred to as a small pitcher in the big leagues. Affeldt is just the kind they like. 6'4", 220. 1-1. And that misses. Ball 2. 2-1. On deck, Orlando Hudson. Orlando 1 for 3 tonight as he waits. Fastball hit in the air to left field. Going back on it is Velez, backtracking to make the catch. That ball really carried, and the runners have to hold. So Loney, a long fly ball to left, and Velez really had to get on his horse. 2 down, and Jim Thome is going to come up and bat for Orlando Hudson.
Your attention, please. For the Dodgers, pinch hitting, number 25, Jim Thome.
Jeremy Affeldt pitched in the American League. 0-2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So that means he has seen and faced Jim Thome. Thome is 2 for 8 against him. One of the 2 hits was a home run. On deck to bat, Juan Pierre would hit for Chad Billingsley. Two on, 2 out, 7-4 Giants. Thome 1 for 14 as a pinch hitter. 1 ball and no strikes. We've mentioned it, the fact that Jim, a tremendous player, a huge threat as a designated hitter, but in his career hitting only .211 in the role of a pinch hitter. 1 ball and no strikes. Fastball. So Big Jim, the pride of Peoria, Illinois, and Aurora, Colorado. 6'4", 245, 39 years old. Signed by the Indians 20 years ago. 1-1. Fastball, 2-1. In his tremendous career, he's hit as many as 52 home runs. He did that back in 2002. He's had as many as 131 runs batted in. Did that in 2003, coming over to the Phillies. Fastball, 2-2. I remember in the right at the end of Willie Mays' career, the pitchers and the opposing managers had to get over the fact that it was Willie Mays. I mean, it was not the Willie Mays who was the say hey kid. It was the older man who couldn't quite catch up to that good fastball. And it looks like they are not going to just shy away from Tomei because he is now 39. So Appel got a couple of good fastballs, but he misses with the breaking ball. So now the runners will be going. 3-2, 2 out, and Juan Pierre on deck. And this highly wound up Friday night crowd on its feet. So Kemp and Blake ready to go. Curveball got him looking. Oh, what a pitch. Wow. Jeremy Affeldt, a big rainbow curveball, and there was a pot of gold at the end of it as far as he was concerned. Perfect pitch. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Public enemy 1 strikes again. 7-4 Giants. Bat for Appel, and then Pablo Sandoval. Juan Castro is now at second base, and Chad Billingsley ready to go to work. Ball 1. Freddie Sanchez reached on an error, single to center, and twice grounded to short. Freddie 1 for 4. Fastball lifted back at first, down the line, slicing foul, and it comes back, and Loney makes the catch. Even though there isn't any wind that is noticeable enough to move the flags, The players know a lot of foul balls will actually start to drift back towards the field, and Loney knew that. Never quit, waited, and got his reward. So 1 out, and now John Bowker coming up to pinch hit. John is from Sacramento, went to Long Beach State. 26-year-old, signed in the 34th round 5 years ago. He has some size. Ball 1. Bowker last year had 10 home runs. Eastern League, he hit as many as 22. He's 6'2", solid 195. Strike. So Chad Billingsley got the first 2 out in the 8th inning, then Rowan homered. Schierholtz a single, and the last out was that diving catch by Andre Ethier. Bowker, April the 13th last year, became the first player in San Francisco history to homer in his first 2 games. Doesn't play much this year, so he has just 1 home run. Off speed, missed with the curve. To look ahead, Chad Billingsley is due to lead off in the 9th inning, then Furcal and Martin. Dodgers have used Tomei, Loretta, and Belliard already as pinch hitters. Meanwhile, Pablo Sandoval waits on deck for the Giants. Foul ball. Boy, when I think of the years that I watched baseball games where there was no protective fencing in front of the dugout, and now day after day, that last foul ball would have killed somebody. 3-2. And ball 4. So a 1-out pass to Bowker brings up Sandoval. You know, you can visit the official online shop of the Dodgers on Dodgers.com. Browse the largest online selection of authentic team gear, including official caps, t-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. So get your team gear straight from the source. Shop the Dodgers.com shop. Bowker at first, Sandoval flied to left. 3-run home run in the 3rd. Popped up, grounded out since. Fouled away. Dodgers put a modified shift on. Furcal has not crossed the line up the middle, but he is way over to his left. The outfield about straight away. 0-1. One ball and 1 strike. How about Sandoval against Billingsley? Sandoval is 4 for 13. That would be a .308 batting average. Bowker at first with 1 out. Off the plate, ball 2, 2-1. Sandoval is naturally left-handed, but he grew up wanting to play shortstop like Omar Vizquel. So he taught himself to throw right-handed. And a little pop fly. Castro. So Sandoval has had 1 good swing, but it was a huge swing. A 3-run home run in the 3rd inning.
Catcher number 1, Benji Molina.
Benji Molina. 0 for 4 coming up. Tough night for Benji. Grounded out, struck out, and grounded into 2 double plays. 0-1. Molina, one of only 3 active catchers to have won multiple Gold Gloves. Pudge Rodriguez 13 of them. Dodger catcher Brad Osmus 3. Benji has 2. On 1. You turn the clock back to 1965. The National League Gold Glove winner at catcher was wearing an Atlanta Braves uniform, and his name was Joe Torre. One and 1. One and 2. I always loved Felipe Alou talking about players who come from Latin America. He said in the United States, players are taught to be selective. In Latin America, you don't hear the word selective. That means you go to the Army. One hopper into left field. So for Billingsley, this has not been an outing to shore up his confidence, if indeed his confidence has wavered. He's given up a home run, 2 singles, and a walk. And now the batter will be Juan Uribe. So Molina 1 for 5. Walker is at second base. Uribe grounded out, single to right, fly to left, grounded to third. Ball 1. One ball and no strikes. In at the knuckles. 2-0. Juan Uribe is from the Dominican. 5'11", 220, 30 years old. Originally signed by the Rockies, actually played with them for a couple of years, about 3. A strike. He can't believe it. Then Uribe had 4 years with the White Sox, almost 5, and then wound up with the Giants. 2-1. 2-2. What about Uribe and Billingsley? Uribe 4 for 8 with a home run against him. When this sounds like a joke, but apparently it's true about his dad. Little flare into right field, base hit. So here comes Bowker. The throw is way offline, going all the way to the dugout, right down into the photographer's well. So Molina stops at third. Their run is at second and third. It is 8-4 in favor of the Giants. The Ethier lets it fly, and I mean fly. It's off the radar screen. And the batter will be Ishikawa. Finish that thought about Uribe. The scout said to his father in a hotel restaurant where they went to negotiate the contract, and the scout said, "How much do you want for your son?" Uribe said, "My dad didn't know anything about negotiations," and he said, "I cannot sell you my son. For my son there is no price." Well, he just got a priceless base hit for Bruce Bochy. It's 8-4 Giants as Uribe singles, takes second on that runaway throw. Dodgers second error. 1-1. So when you think about it, this is the last thing that Joe Torre wanted to have happen. He wanted to breeze in Billingsley for an inning or two, let him have a good 6 outs, and instead it's not turned out well at all. He got 2 out in the 8th inning, then he gave up a home run, a single, and it might have been more. Velez ball in the 8th inning, a diving run-saving catch by Andre Ethier. And now in the 9th, a walk, a couple of singles, a throwing error, and he's in a mess. Two and two. Ishikawa lined out, single, double, grounded out. And he's 5 for 10 against Billingsley. Two and two. Ball 3. So he's facing hitters who have hit him in the past and who are hitting him in the present. Waiting on deck, Aaron Rowan. And that's ball 4. So as far as Billingsley is concerned, the game has somewhat disintegrated. And Rick Honeycutt on the phone. Joe is at the base of the steps. They have Scott Elbert and Guillermo Mota. Here comes Joe, and I assume there goes Chad. So Billingsley just unable to do it tonight. Goes an inning and 2/3 and has given up at least 2. And we'll be back. Not say discouraging, because you know he's going to be back out there on the road, but he labored 47 pitches in an inning and 2/3, and he goes out with the bases loaded, all of them his responsibility. He has walked 2 and given up 2 hits in the 9th inning after giving up a home run, and saved by Ethier from giving up more in the 8th inning. So Guillermo Mota, who was throwing inside of the first 3 innings, he was the first man up in the pen, and then it was a parade, not to the mound, but just in the bullpen. First Mota, then James McDonald, then Ronald Belisario, then Ramon Troncoso. Aaron Rowan, a strike, 0-1. Rowan single left, hit back to the box, struck out, and homered in the 8th inning against Billingsley. 8-4 Giants, and they could break it wide open here. Instead, high foul. Loney coming over, might have a play. He does. So Rowan fouls out with the bases loaded. However, the Giants add a run and lead 8-4. Earlier, Jeff Kemp, followed by J.D. Drew, followed by Russell Martin, followed by Marlon Anderson, and the Dodgers had tied up a game with San Diego. And then in the 10th inning, Nomar Garciaparra hit a home run, and the Dodgers turned it around remarkably, miraculously, and won it. Well, that was 3 years ago. Here in the ballpark, they show the videotape 21 years ago when Kirk Gibson hit his dramatic home run in the World Series. Well, Brian Wilson, the closer for the Giants, comes in now to try and finish off the Dodgers. Wilson with 34 saves, and he'll face Juan Pierre. Interesting comparison tonight. With runners in scoring position, the Giants are 5 for 12. The Dodgers are 0 for 7. And that's ball one. Pierre, in his last 20 pinch hitting appearances, is hitting .706. Would you believe that? With 3 walks. That .706 translates into 12 or 17. Wilson throws very hard. Strikeout to walk ratio about 3-1. Right. Wilson with a record of 5-5, 34 saves. 2-1. Fastball, little roller. Uribe throwing and gets him. 1 out in the 9th.
Shortstop number 15, Rafael.
So the Dodgers have used Pierre, who grounded out, Loretta, who flied to center, Belliard, who popped up, and Tomei struck out. So the Dodger pinch hitters go 0 for 4. Doug Minkiewicz sitting alongside of Jim Tomei. And here's Rafael for a call. Walk, fouled out, homered, and walked. Strike. Brian Wilson against Furcall. Raphael is 0 for 6 against him. That's a strike. 0-2. Brian Wilson out of Londonderry, New Hampshire. Not too many ball players from up that neck of the woods. 27, 6'1", 205 pounder. Went to school at LSU. Fouled off. Last year, Wilson had 6 saves where he required more than 3 outs. They don't like to use him more than an inning if they can help it. 0-2. Got him. So Furcall is caught looking, and the Dodgers are down to their last out. And the batter will be Russell Martin. 8 runs, 15 hits for the Giants. 4 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors for the Dodgers. And the batter now, Martin, hit into a double play, lined out to center, grounded out, struck out, 0 for 4. For the Giants, it looks now for sure they'll pick up a game. They will trail the Dodgers by 7.5. But more importantly for Bruce and the Giants, they will be trailing Colorado by 2.5 for the wild card. And the Dodgers now down to their last strike. And for Wilson, throwing 96. We've seen him throw where the gun says 100. So he can bring it. Remarkably so, because he had Tommy John surgery back in 2003. Ball 1. Tomorrow afternoon, John Garland for the Dodgers and Brad Penny for the Giants. Sunday afternoon, we'll be back here with you then, Tim Lincecum and Randy Wolf. Fastball, little ground ball. Sandoval makes the play, and that's that. So the Dodgers go down